out for the police. They're lurking in every corner to beat you down for your stash. With handcuffs and guns, I bet they're having fun when they take away your cash. They're on the rise, this oversized gang of pirates on the seas. And don't you get bored?
And aloha, America. Welcome back to the show here. Finishing up on the economy here. Very insightful article from RINF.com, how big money is buying off criticism of big money. Not here so far, I might add. But apparently it's an anecdotal story about a guy who was asked to give to a religious congregation a speech about the widening economic inequality in this country. And apparently just before he gave the speech, the head of the congregation said, don't criticize the ultra-rich, don't talk about taxes on the wealthy. Because there were certain wealthy members of his church who were very generous donors. And the church was dependent on them, so they couldn't possibly offend them. Here I thought that churches were supposed to be above such mortals and earth. All right, let's see. Down in Australia, there is a major scandal brewing because for the third time, the Reserve Bank of Australia's decision on foreign exchange rates somehow get leaked out before it's officially announced. And the Australian regulators are now opening an investigation. Yeah, of course they don't. They don't play by rules. They don't think they play by rules in little things. And it's like a religion. And remember, modern banking is not science. It is a religion. It is an arbitrary set of rules and beliefs created for you to believe in and conform with that bring wealth to the clergy, meaning the bankers. You do not feel they have to play by the same rules. A good analogy would be all these clergymen who preach about sexual abstinence and then they're caught buggering the choir board. The altar, same thing. We're going to grab ourselves a phone call here. Mo in Florida. Aloha. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Aloha, Michael.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Just nothing but comments. I watch your show every day. I love the show. It's all like it is. At least, news perspective with 95% off. Some of the number out there I checked out and is right on. But I just had a couple of, I guess, just comments, and I'll get your comments. But sometimes you think you're living in the twilight. I mean, I was looking back. I never forget this. George Bush, holding hands with King Abdullah and kissing his ring and walking with him down in Texas. And I thinking of this monarchy that we freed ourselves from with the Revolutionary War. And there must be some kind of matrix here that is just cognitive dissonance, whatever you want to call it. I mean,
I got to step in here because what you're looking at is an exercise in diplomacy protocol, and it doesn't really mean anything. I know that everybody tried to make a big deal about Obama bowing before this other head of state, but it's basically it's the expected ritual in their country, in their palace or government building, and I wouldn't read too much into it. When in Rome, do like the Romans. And, if you're there trying to make some kind of a deal, you're going to do the protocol they're expecting just so that you're not starting the negotiations with them being very angry with you over violating protocol. That's a big part of diplomacy. So the fact that Bush kissed the ring or Obama bowed to this or that head of state, it's really not that significant. You shouldn't be.
No, but it's symbolic of what are the Shias are like 12% of the Muslim population, and they rule with the United States backing, the United States money. They rule over, they're behind this deal here in Yemen, and I just, just my thought, this thing is going to crash Saudi Arabia, they're going to, I don't care what the United States does. They, Russia's behind Iran. Basically, Russia backs the Shia side of the equation, which is only, which is a smaller part. But I think this Saudi king with the internet and everything, I think they're going to be overthrown. And I'm going to just throw it out there. I think they're going to be overthrown within a year. And I don't think the repercussions of that are going to be oil being $200 a barrel. I don't know what it is, but I just can't believe, with the world knowing what's going on and how they live their lavish lifestyles, almost rubbing it in your face when most of the Muslims live in poverty, Egypt, wherever. And this war of them trying to prop up this Yemen regime, all backed by this. The United States pitched themselves with King George again, and it's hideous. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is, and I'll tell you where they made a mistake. First of all, reading between the lines, I don't think Saudi Arabia expected the reaction in their own country that they're getting. And they're having to do a crackdown. And remember, we have a stock up and sell in the store. The fastest way to bring down a dictator is to force it to act like one where everybody can see it. And that's exactly what's going on in Saudi Arabia right now. Now, more than a few observers are saying Yemen could turn out to be Saudi Arabia's version of Vietnam. Because the real danger for any world leader is when you start believing your own propaganda. And we have all been told that this Shiite, Houthi, discontent attacking the government, and that's not what's going on. This is the people of Yemen who are sick of U.S. puppet rule, kicking that puppet ruler out, just like Iran did in 1979. The Saudis are airdropping weapons into the people of Yemen they think are on their side. And I think when Saudi Arabia actually invades, they're going to find themselves on the receiving end of those same weapons. Because what we're seeing across the world, during this push for a single global government, we're seeing the beginnings of a global revolution where everybody's saying it's time to get rid of these money junkies and royalties and, elite politicians, and let's just have our own little country and take care of ourselves and self-defense.
Michael, you keep saying it like it is. I can't say anything better. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for the phone call. We're going to let you go right now. Now, as you're already hearing, because, they're just broadcasting it all over the corporate media, Rand Paul has declared that he is running for president, and the reactions are mixed. Obviously, the people who are going to be lining up against him for the GOP primaries are already on the attack. It's one of the risks you take when you're one of the first ones to announce your candidacy. But he's out there and he's making his speech, and obviously the part about the enemy of the United States is radical Islam is the red warning sign that this guy is going to continue this push for a new unholy crusade of all the Christians against all the Muslims, as long as it's not he and his own kids who have to go out there and do the fighting and dying. Now, looking at Rand Paul's Twitter feed is very enlightening because it is just filling up with negative comments about the very idea of his being the president. And again, I think Rand Paul is strongly motivated in his political life by wanting to outdo his father, to the point where he's willing to make any moral or ethical compromise necessary to eclipse his father by becoming president. I think he's got some serious issues there that are going to get in the way of being an objective evaluator of policy, whether foreign or domestic. Now, there's a very interesting story over at Investment Watch blog, and it's talking about this New York Times reporter, Amy Chozick, who is on the receiving end of veiled threats by a group called themselves the Hillary Rodham Clinton Super Volunteers. And she went public with it, and presumably other journalists are getting the same message, that there are certain words she will not use to describe Hillary. And of course, this shows us Hillary Clinton's respect for freedom of speech and freedom of the press.
There's a man named Dr. Joel Wallach who is anything but your typical doctor, both a veterinarian and naturopathic physician. Doc asks, why does the United States spend more money on healthcare by far and still rank 50th in health and longevity worldwide? He believes that people should empower themselves with a basic understanding of nutrition, take charge of their health, and attain optimal health and longevity through nutrition, not by toxic prescription drugs that lead to side effects and more toxic prescription drugs. Doc Wallach's message is resonating with an increasing number of Americans who are waking up to all the big government, big pharma, and big insurance manipulation of our healthcare system. I'm George Dory, and I like what Doc Wallach is saying and doing to enlighten people about healthcare. Visit brightsideben.com and listen to Doc Wallach's Deadly Recipes lecture. It makes a lot of sense, and I urge you to join the Brightside Ben team. Go to brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to fill. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices of 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
You really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Gemstone. Genstone.
Gemstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looked like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall, they made it.
We love the look of our home now.
And Gemstone is durable. It's a 25-year warranty and offers additional R value for installation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Gemstone.
855-955-STONE. Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Attention taxpayers, if you received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, put the fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. This special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. The tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are here to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take out this number or put it in your cell phone and call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, we get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled return, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payment. Don't make the big mistake of thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
Aloha, America. Welcome back to the show here. And continuing on with Hillary, a top intelligence official under President Obama, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, says that the chances that Hillary Clinton's private email server were hacked are very high. Now, this Lieutenant General Michael Flynn used to run the Defense Intelligence Agency. He's a top intelligence expert. And he said it's likely. It's likely. The server was unsecure. It used the security certificate shared with other websites. Of course, Hillary has now erased the server, turned over a few paper emails, making electronic search possible. If she's taking that, that should be enough. How dare you question Queen Hillary the First? John McCain has announced that he will rerun for his Senate seat next year for a 6th term. He's supposed to be 80. So I have a message to all you people of Arizona. Please prove to the world you are not dumb enough to re-elect a man who spends more time working for Israel than for Arizona and more time on the TV talk shows than in his office. We've had enough of this guy. We've had enough of these Israel first. America needs leaders who will put America first, second, and third. Now, getting on to the Jeff Epstein case. Very rich guy, politically connected, had his own private island where notable individuals were getting their jollies with underage girls. Now, the lawsuit brought by one of the girls against Jeff Epstein himself. And so now a judge has ordered all references to Prince Andrew erased from the court record. Not just from the complaint, go back over the court record, erase it all. Saying they're unnecessary details. We don't need to know what Prince did. And another judge agreed to the same thing regarding Alan Dershowitz, who was down there availing himself of the pleasures of Epstein's island paradise. We're not supposed to know. It's too late. It's already out on the net. Does anybody really think that Prince Andrew and Alan Dershowitz's reputation is going to actually be healed by this? Going to a federal judge to get their names erased, basically in this court, is a cover-up. We may not even know the full extent of it. Because of things like this, we're now seeing a new poll. 97% of Americans, including both Democrats and Republicans, in the same measure agree in time consumption and government corruption in America. Which I guess kind of means firing virtually the entire government. Because I think the non-corrupt members of our government can be counted on the fingers of one hand, particularly one of the chest. Now we're getting word from Eritrea. They are now kicking out all U.S. non-governmental organizations. Remember, Russia did this not too long ago. They found that U.S. aid was funding opposition, trying to stir up trouble. And now the president of Eritrea is saying all of these U.S. non-governmental organizations have to go. Justifying by saying foreign aid from the United States is meant to cripple our nation. We'll take care of ourselves, thank you very wise thing the president of Eritrea to do. Which means that at some point in the future, we'll be told that ISIS is in Eritrea and it must be fine. Still seeing a lot of fallout from that Indiana law that allows people to discriminate against customers based on their religion. It triggered a huge backlash. Apparently, the case that started this whole situation was a Christian-owned business that did not want to do business with gays. Okay? The crime is rather amusing, but valid crime. Where in Fort Smith, Dr. Michael Freeheit, general practitioner, and he is gay, and he's an atheist. And he's saying, under the letter of this law, I can now refuse medical treatment because of our religion. And, yeah, the way the law is written, you can. Now remember, the First Amendment makes it clear, government is not supposed to pass any laws for religious reasons. Congress shall make no law respecting an institution of religion. Christians like to misquote that and say Congress will make no law regarding the institution of religion. That's not what it says. Go back to the original. There is no official religion in the United States of America. That was done by the founding fathers. They had fresh members for the new generation. Seeing how the war between the Catholics and the Protestants was devastating. They didn't want that. They wanted religious freedom for all. To get that, they understood that no religion could be allowed influence over the civil law. This law in Indiana is already in Congress. Very alarming story, again from Invested Watch Blog. All 16 U.S. intelligence agencies are preparing for the biggest American economic collapse ever made. And apparently a lot of this has to do with expectations that they're not going to be able to maintain this illusion of a working economy for very much longer. Some people are saying within 6 months. It's hard to predict because the banks can always just create more money out of thin air. The government can change the rules. But apparently they're expecting a certain degree of upset with the American people. And they're preparing for it. And let me tell you what that really comes down to. Let us say that you own a business and you hire a manager to run the business. Then years later you discover the manager has not been doing a good job. It works. You hired managers who are stealing from you and lying to you to cover his tracks. So you decide to fire him, which is your right. But the manager, your employee, pulls a gun on you. Tells you that you will not fire him, and in fact, you've got to give him a raise. And that's exactly what's happening today in the United States. The U.S. government is an employee of the American people. They've mismanaged the nation onto the edge of collapse, lied to us, stolen from us, and now want to point guns at us and tell us that they should be allowed to do their job, to go on stealing from us and lying to us. Go back to the Constitution and the preamble. We the people. This is our nation. We allow a government to manage it for us as our employees.